All right, so let's get right into it. You know those top sailors, right? The ones who just seem to have this sixth sense for the boat? They always find that extra bit of speed and it looks like pure magic. But here's the secret. It's not magic, and it's definitely not some talent they were born with. It's a system, a process that's repeatable, learnable, and it's what takes good sailors and makes them truly great.
I mean, just look at this shot. What really separates the boats at the front of the fleet from everyone else? Is it luck? No way. It's all about preparation and process. And the best part? The secret to sailing like the pros? It's totally accessible. It's for anyone who's willing to put in the work before you even get on the water. And that is exactly what we're going to break down today.
So here's what we've got on tap. First, we'll bust the myth that sailing fast is some kind of magic. Then we'll get practical with the pre-sail checklist and how to create a cheat sheet for your boat. After that, we're going to talk about dancing with the wind and waves. And we'll wrap it all up with the pro sailor's mindset. Let's do it.
Okay, first things first, we're going to tackle this whole idea of natural talent. Because believe me, speed on the water is something you build, not something you're born with.
Here's the absolute key takeaway. The best sailors, they hate guesswork. They have a system for literally everything, from how they tune the rig on shore to how they react to a sudden gust. It's this process that gives them that incredible consistency. And that consistency, well, that's the real foundation of speed. It means you can get the same results, not by luck, but by design. So, where do you even start building a system like this? Well, it all begins on land with a solid pre-sail checklist. Seriously, think of it like a pilot's pre-flight check. It's not optional. It's a ritual you do every single time to make sure you're set up for success before you even launch.
Okay, this whole process is about creating a perfect baseline, and there are 3 rules to this. First, and this is a big one, use the same tools every time. Your own tape measures, your own tension gauge. That way, your numbers are always talking the same language. Second, you got to tune in calm weather. Wind will totally stretch the rigging and mess up your measurements, giving you bad data. And third, everyone on the crew needs a specific job. You create a routine so it's done the exact same way every time. It's all about locking in that reliable starting point.
And believe me, the details don't stop there. The pros, they log everything. I mean, everything. They have a tuning sheet where they record their settings and then note how the boat felt on the water. That logbook, it becomes their Bible. They're also completely obsessive about symmetry. They'll use the main halyard as a plumb line just to make sure the mast is dead center. Why? Because a balanced rig gives you a balanced helm, and a balanced helm makes the boat faster. It's all about being precise.
All right, so your boat is perfectly tuned up on shore. Awesome. But what happens when you're out on the water and the wind shifts or a squall comes through? How do you get back to your fast settings in a split second? That's where your boat's cheat sheet comes into play. And I love this analogy. It's just like the presets on your car radio. You find a setting that works, you save it, and then you can jump right back to it with one touch.
So what are these reference marks? They're exactly what they sound like. Presets for speed. They're basically a simple visual language for you and your crew. Instead of guessing, is that enough Vang? You're calling out Vang on 2. It lets you make lightning-fast, super accurate adjustments without even having to think about it. It just completely kills the guesswork.
Here's a classic example, and it's so simple but so powerful. Putting a few marks on your spreaders. This gives you an instant visual guide for the shape of your jib. You can see in a flash if your trim is the same on both port and starboard tack. That means a perfectly balanced and fast boat.
Okay, what's next? The boom Vang. Now the Vang is a massive power control, right? So instead of just easing it a little bit when a big puff hits, you can snap from setting 2 to setting 3, instantly. These simple marks let you dump power and then power back up with absolute precision. That's how you keep the boat flat and flying. And let's not forget the centerboard. You definitely don't want your board in the same position all the time, so you mark a few key spots. Think of them as different modes. You've got your max down upwind mode, your raised downwind mode, and maybe even a special high pointing mode for when you're in a tight spot tactically. This lets you shift gears without even thinking, so you can keep your head out of the boat and focused on the race.
Okay, so the boat is prepped, the controls are marked. What's left? Us, the human element. And this is so important. It's not about being the strongest person on the boat. It's about skill, timing, and finesse. The pros literally treat their own movements as another control system. It's like a coordinated dance between the crew, the boat, and the elements.
Yeah, the fancy term for this is kinetics, basically how you use your body to make the boat move. But great kinetics isn't just about yanking on stuff. It's a precise mix of 4 key things. You need the right technique, you have to apply it with perfect timing, use just the right amount of force, and, this is the glue that holds it all together,
You need seamless communication.
Whoa. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This looks intense. And you're not wrong. This is literally a page from a pro team's playbook, mapping out every single action for every situation. It's complex because it's their shared language. But don't panic. We are not going to try to memorize this whole chart.
Instead, we're going to zoom in on just one thing. The most common, most fundamental maneuver in all of sailing, the tack. If we can break this down, you'll see exactly how this whole system works in practice.
So a perfect tack is like a little 3-act play. Act 1, the skipper starts steering through the turn, but the crew stays hiked out, keeping the boat powered up and flat. This is all about momentum. Act 2 is the bow passes through the wind. Skipper and crew cross the boat together, in perfect sync. Not too early, not too late. Act 3 is the exit. This is critical. The crew gets on the trapeze, the sail gets trimmed in, and both of them hike hard to flatten the boat and accelerate onto the new tack. See? Every single movement has a purpose.
So how do you know when you've nailed it? When your steering, your trim, and all your body movements are working together in perfect harmony. Your telltales will tell you. When they're streaming back perfectly, just like you see here in this on-angle zone, that's it. That's your proof. That's the boat itself whispering to you, yep, whatever you're doing right now, it's fast. Keep doing that.
Okay, we've covered the boat, we've covered the body, but now we've got to talk about what might be the single most important part of this entire playbook. And it's not a piece of gear, and it's not some secret technique. It's all about your mindset.
Look, finding that extra speed is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time, and it definitely takes patience. The real goal isn't to try these things once and then go win your next regatta. Come on, that's not realistic. The real goal is to learn something new every single time you hit the water. It's just about being a little bit smarter, a little bit faster today than you were yesterday. And this quote from the source material, man, I think this is brilliant. You may not win every race, but you can learn from each one. Think about that. They call it the no-lose approach. If you're learning, you can't lose. Every time you're out there, it's a win because you come back with new information. It completely flips the script. It gets rid of that fear of not doing well and replaces it with this drive to just get better. And that's the real engine for improvement.
So, we've unpacked a lot from the pros playbook. I'm really curious, what's the one thing that really jumped out at you? Are you thinking, okay, I'm going to start with that pre-sale checklist and get super precise, or are you excited to put some reference marks on your boat? Or maybe you and your crew are going to practice that 3-stage tack? Drop a comment below and let us know. What's the one technique you're going to try on your very next sail?